it depends on averages. So all you gotta do is average 33 point whatever percent of 3-pointers to make 50% of 2-pointers, right? But Shaq's gonna be averaging like 80% from the 2-point line because no one's gonna be able to stop him. He's gonna be dunking. Yeah, the 2-point line is gonna be him and the rim, and he's just gonna be dunking on them every single time. Like, who's gonna stop him from scoring?
We have hit the last chapter of Shaquille O'Neal's Hypotheticals, and I think it's going to be one of our more interesting episodes because I think it's one of the more interesting seasons to ever happen. And that is the 1920. When I say it like that, it sounds like I'm talking about the 2020s, like the way back, the roaring 20s.
Well, you literally said 1920. So
I know, so maybe it didn't sound right? But the 2020 NBA season, aka the bubble. Now, before we get started, we are recording this in 2023, just before the NBA Finals, and a lot of shit has been talked about this season and the bubble in general. That the competition, stuff about the competition. Stuff about, lack of home court advantage.
Mickey Mouse championship.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. There were guys who got off in the bubble that never would have got off in real life.
Pause. Like MJ Warren.
Yeah, MJ. There you go. Great example. Yeah. Teams like the Phoenix Suns.
Tyler Hero, but he got off other ways, man. Katia,
But recording this in 2023, right before the NBA Finals, the same teams that were the Final Four in the bubble are the same 4 teams 3 years later with the same cores. The guys, the role players have changed, but the cores and the stars are basically the same cast of characters. And similar stuff happened. The Heat beat the Bucks in 2020, and they beat them again in shocking fashion this season. I bring all this up to say, fuck everybody talking shit about the bubble for this whole time. There's documented footage on this channel of me saying repeatedly that this was one of the most competitive, interesting, and overall fun playoffs of all time. And I stand by that, and I feel better about it now than I did then.
And it was competitive as basketball. You didn't have many blowouts because there was not much home court advantage. There was no home court advantage, so
zero.
That's why it was just so many tighter games. Which I guess that's what people are arguing against with that, right? Like, you don't have.
Well, not only that, like when there's not 25,000 screaming fans. Like, think about a place like Sacramento. Obviously, Sacramento didn't even make the bubble, but I'm thinking about this season. Sacramento with home court advantage, like, it's the loudest building. That matters. When I went to Game 7 between Milwaukee and the Celtics in the 2022 playoffs, it was the loudest building I've ever been in, and it made a difference in how those teams played. It definitely made a difference in how Giannis played. I can say that with certainty. It was loud as fuck in there. Holy shit. But I think that's something that a lot of people were concerned about, and I think that's why guys like before this playoffs, Jamal Murray, for example, people who were looked at as the bubble babies or the Mickey Mouse Club. Like, I don't know. I think this season, and we're obviously going to talk about stuff that happened before the bubble because we got to talk regular season first.
Yep.
And even the regular season was extremely entertaining. You had a solid MVP race between an aging LeBron James and in his peak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, they had that crazy battle right before the pandemic started, where LeBron, I think he played the Bucks and he played one other
It's
team. It'll be on
crazy
your
how we
screen.
say an aging LeBron James and he averaged 25 and 10 this year. For most of the
Yeah.
year, it was 25 and 11. But and
Yeah.
then this year he
25,
averaged like
8,
30.
and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
then this year he averaged 30 or whatever,
His
or
scoring is
almost
going to
30.
go up dramatically from this point.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And this is the last season we have a legacy breakdown for LeBron. That's crazy. We're going to have to. There's rumors that he might retire. I don't believe that, but there's rumors that he might retire. I think
he's just being a drama bitch, like always.
Yeah. I think he's Brett Favreing us all. I don't believe it. Lindsay, you think LeBron's going to retire?
No, I think it's a smokescreen so people are talking about him retiring and not talking about him getting swept again.
That's
again.
Fair.
Time about. He's only got swept 3 times in his life. That's wild.
No, I know, but I'm just saying that's what it is.
Again, that's crazy.
Again can be it's happening a second time. I'm not saying it like it's a lot.
It sounded like it was like a repetitive thing in his life or something.
Lindsay's like, listen, if you ain't first, there's only one thing to call you. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm not saying it's a big deal for me, but it's been more than once. And then you have like Jordan sexuals who will hold that against him.
True.
Yeah. We're not about to bring up the Facebook post that I shared this morning. This morning.
Fucking.
Oh no.
It'll be on your screen. However, where do you think? Let's move backwards a little bit. Where do you think the 2000-2001 LA Lakers, chip number 2 of Shaq and Kobe, where do you think they rank in this weird season where people played a different number of games? Like, I don't even know what the hell we're gonna have for a record because what was the general number of games played? I think it's like 70 something, right? 70.
Yeah, 71. 71, 72. So that Laker team would have had, based off of like proportions or whatever, that would have been a 60-win team.
Right.
I don't know if we want to do it.
What do you think? What do you think for the because the pace is up, right? The pace is up even further from where we've seen it previously. Like now we're really, and when we get into the bubble, the pace goes up again because teams are just flying up and down the court. But we have an average pace of drum roll.
Oh yeah, they're by far the slowest team in the league.
100.3 is the average.
Yeah. This Laker team will be by far the slowest team in the league.
I believe that's correct. There's nobody here. 95.8 for the Charlotte Hornets looks like the slowest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the slowest by a lot. And the Lakers, I believe they're at 91.7.
Yeah. Slow ass shit. Oh, man.
91, let's see. 91.7, yes.
Yeah.
Ha, still got it.
Yeah.
So we've only used this team 800 fucking times so far. But if we're talking 72 games, I don't know. I'm not good at math.
Yeah.
I don't think they get more than 50 wins. I think they'll get like 48 wins. Because I don't see them. There's always that turmoil that always matters in this season. In the regular season, the Lakers were not as good of a team, so I don't think they'll be number 1.
Yeah.
Even if they speed their pace up, and that's the other thing.
I feel like it always makes sense to have them like second or third. I would honestly, I feel like they should be like second in the West or whatever. I'm cool with that.
From a 3-point attempt standpoint, they're going to be by far the lowest team. Almost everybody's. There's only a few teams lower than 30 now at 3-point attempts.
Yeah, and they're at 16 or 15, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I know in the playoffs it's like 16, but here they're 15 and a half. So
yeah,
people are going to be double the 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
So I don't see them being number one for that reason. Especially bad teams love to shoot threes. Like even if we're not talking about the best of the best, they'll get beat by a fucking Atlanta, like just because they like to shoot threes. They'll beat some dumb shit like that. There's a few teams here. Portland with Damian Lillard. Like, do I think Damian Lillard's at that Portland Trailblazers team is better than, what do you call it, the Lakers? No, but dude, could they win a game in the regular season? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because they're just shooting a copious amount of threes.
Yeah.
So that's going to affect the Lakers.
The 3-point shot is really a wild card when it comes to like regular season
very
games
much
for
so.
Sure. Because you could just find
I think it's responsible for all the upsets that we've been seeing over the last couple of years. And I think it's the reason why the play-in tournament's so fucking exciting. Because it's one game. And when you add the 3-point shot, it's just flipping a coin.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just flipping a coin, and the games get so competitive. And you can come back from 25. And like, if you're down 25 at halftime, you could come back now better than you could at any point in history.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
That's why the
100%.
game is so exciting right now.
Yeah. Because in the 90s and 2000s, you were down by 25. You're done for the game. Just call
GG's in the chat. It's over.
Yeah.
GG's in the AOL chat at that point.
I don't even know about the AOL. That might not have been AOL.
With the dial-up connection, that little dude's running across your screen. Okay. Yeah. We were single digits back then. But
I remember.
But no, I'll take them at like Clippers are at 49. I like the Lakers. Let's say 48. I think 48 wins is probably
get
fair.
Get the hell out of here. The Clippers had the same kind of turmoil. We're not doing that. We're giving them 50 wins.
Nah, this was King of LA Clippers. Come on.
Nah, this is goofy as hell. Nah, I got my Lakers at 50, all right? We won up on these. This is still to this day we disrespect the Clippers, man. No offense, Lindsay.
Kawhi PG played very little amount of games.
I mean, looking back out of it, it's not that crazy. Like,
I mean, they're going to be in one of the top 3 seats. Like, there's no doubting that. I'm not that crazy. I just think, there's going to be turmoil. And the really interesting part is once this season transitions into the bubble, and I think this is a good time to ask this before we talk about, potential stat lines for these guys. Do you think the bubble brings the Lakers together, or the Kobe and Shaq being constantly on top of each other in the bubble with no escape separates them and brings them apart? What do you think, Lindsay?
I think they fucking hate each other. I think they want to murder each other. I think it'll be bad for their chemistry. Because at this point, it's not like either of them are like expert communicators or super mature yet. So I don't see extra time stuck together being a positive thing unless some miracle occurs.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
My opinion is the miracle is the bubble. And the bubble is what we saw out of the bubble, just in case anybody forgot. The mentally toughest players played were the ones that destroyed Jimmy Butler, LeBron James easily. Yeah. They were destroying and controlling everything during that bubble. And I think Shaq and Kobe will thrive in the bubble. Like
even Shaq? I'm not even doubting Kobe on this one.
So my thing with Shaq, a lot of people get like caught up, but he literally like when he's on like spearheaded, wants to wall out, he drops 40 in the finals. Like when he has his mind set, like he's a monster. And I think like especially during the NBA finals. Yeah, I mean we could during the NBA finals.
I'm looking up something else. You keep talking. I'm looking up something else.
And obviously I'm assuming we're giving them the same circumstances that they had in the 01-02, right? We have to. So where they start figuring things out and they play like the playoff 01 Lakers. That's the whole reason that we have them as the apex team. So that's Kobe, understanding his role in the offense and everything like that. But I think them like the bubble was eating people alive. I mean, maybe Shaq can have an issue though, because maybe if he doesn't have is not able to have fun, I don't know what the hell Shaq does during the playoffs. We've never really heard stories of him having some crazy shit happening during playoff time. I feel like he's usually
not
locked
Lakers
in.
Shaq, not this not Miami,
Orlando Shaq.
Orlando Shaq.
Yep.
Orlando Shaq. That brother was partying in the finals, right before the finals.
Yeah.
Hell, he got swept.
But we know that
he had a
molded him
party
to
after the finals.
Yeah.
Fucking,
we know that
guy.
that led him to be the way he was in LA. That's the reason he always wilded out in the finals after the fact, because of what happened to that Orlando Shaq. So I'd assume the same. I feel like we shouldn't take that away from Shaq there. And I think both Kobe and Shaq would definitely be mentally stronger than a lot of people in the bubble for sure.
Well, I definitely think Kobe has absolutely no problem. I think this would be Kobe's wet dream. You put me in this place where all I can do is play basketball. There's no distractions. There's no family. There's no.
He doesn't even have kids at this point.
Yeah, if I don't want to associate with anyone, I could just stay in the gym the whole night. This is awesome. This is perfect for me. Even at that age, it would have been perfect for him. Shaq. So things
especially
going for Shaq,
that
right?
age. That was when he was most crazy. I feel like.
Yeah. So Shaq. Obviously, the thing that benefits all these old time players is they didn't worry about. Shaq's phone was a brick at that point. There's no social media. There's no so him being trapped in there is not, and being in a hotel for long periods of time. I don't know. Maybe it would bother him, because he is Shaq. He likes to go out and do things. Would have been interesting to. Would have been really interesting.
Yeah.
This is what I was thinking about earlier, and I think this is a forgotten part about the bubble. So, at least from a we don't, it's talked about, and it's a legendary moment, and it's a historic moment when the Bucks didn't play, right? Before in the playoffs, they boycotted that playoff game. And remember that meeting? Meeting they had that night?
Yeah.
Would have been really interesting to see Shaq and Kobe in a meeting like that.
Yeah.
Because I think Kobe would have been like, we got to play. And Shaq would have been like, I don't know, I think we should go home. I think we should get... I saw them on diametrically opposed. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I was just thinking about this morning. I was thinking about this
morning. Hunger for championships was a real thing. I don't think I don't think you dominate like that in the finals for the three. During that time frame, the big part of bumping heads was Shaq wanted to run the show, sure, but it's because he felt like that was gonna win them championships. They both wanted championships. It wasn't just Shaq just wanted to. He wanted to be the guy, but he also wanted championships. That was the main fight. There.
LeBron was one of those guys that wanted to stay, right? He was he was on the side, and a big reason why, the rumor is a big reason why he wanted to stay is because he saw the roadmap to a championship in the bubble. That's the conspiracy. That's the LeBron's a terrible person narrative. There's probably some truth to it, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like that's the only reason he was on that side. Get at it. I'm not gonna bury LeBron's character to that extent.
No, I don't. And I also think that they did bring up a good point. Having that push to the people's faces during the whole process, it really did bring more conversation to it. It's not
100%.
That was the most conversation we've had in.
And I'm glad we have this show so we can bring it up, even if it's in a hypothetical bullshit scenario.
Yeah.
Is Shaq the first team? What is Shaq's stat line? Let's move backwards. And then is Shaq the first team All-NBA center? Fucking Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, who didn't even want to be a center, is the first team center.
The passer.
Yes.
The pace is higher.
If they're going to win a bunch of games, there's no way they didn't speed up. At least a little bit.
Yeah, yep. So I'm thinking I'll give Shaq let's go like 30 and 13, 14, maybe. Something like that. I'd probably do something like that there. Just because I do feel like speeding it up makes it a little bad for Shaq too, because like it'll force him to well, we gotta also remember time out. There's a huge gap in between the season, right? Before the bubble becomes a thing. And what does Shaq do in the middle of the season? When you have a 3-month span, is he gonna stay in shape like LeBron did?
This is a great point.
Or is he gonna eat like a fat fuck and not work out? And Kobe's gonna definitely be ready at any point.
Yeah.
And then is he gonna have to work himself up?
Wow.
Work himself back in shape. Because if that's the case, if you give me Shaq not. All right, this is before the points and stuff, but let's go with 30 and 13.
This is a good point. Though. Let's hold this for 2 seconds, but this is a good point.
Yeah.
This is a good point. I have Shaq at, let's say, 32, because he's going to the free throw line more. That's the thing that's like, there's no way he's not going to go to the free throw line more. Guys are averaging 10 a game in this era, and Shaq was averaging 12 during a time where 13, excuse me, during a time where that was. So I think that bumps up to probably 15, maybe even 15 and a half. Okay. So keeping the same percentage, he's bound to make 1 or 2 extra games. So I'll say 32.
He'll make 1 extra game.
Either way,
no, I'm just being stupid.
I think that's getting him like 3 to 4 more points. So let's say 32. And then I'll say, from a rebounding standpoint, let's see. Who are the biggest rebounders? Obviously, my man, the GOAT, Andre Drummond, the GOAT of rebounding in this era. Lots of guys in double digits. He's averaging, Shaq would be right around here if I didn't do anything. So let's give him 14. Let's put him right behind Andre Drummond. Because let's be real. Andre Drummond, that's literally, he literally made $1 for every time he got a like this guy. Dennis Rodman level of obsession over the rebounding aspect of the game.
Yeah. No, I'm down for that. Especially since Shaq's gonna have to score 32 and stuff like that. So,
and then from a block standpoint, nobody's really putting up 3. So I'll give Shaq 2.5. I think 2.5 blocks is probably fair.
Yep.
Shooting like 60%. I think that's realistic. I think that's probably realistic.
I don't know. I'd go like 65. I'm not even not even trying to. Yeah. Who like who's gonna stop Shaq in this era? Like you got no defensive bigs like to even come close to stopping him.
Let's see. I spelled position wrong, but whatever.
Yeah.
So you got Brook Lopez,
this is
and
the same
that's 100 rating. This is some of the highest defensive ratings we've seen. Drummond, you got Gobert. Shaq seems to think he would murder Gobert, but I think there's a universe where that's a more competitive matchup than he thinks. I'm not saying Shaq gets shut down, but I'm saying I think Gobert. Yeah, I think Gobert will. I don't know. I think it would be a more entertaining matchup than Shaq gives it credit for. Miles Turner, absolutely not. Bam Adebayo, it's food. Jared Allen, that he needs 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Jonas,
like
no.
Bam looked smaller than LeBron in the finals. So imagine what he's gonna look like with Shaq.
Yeah.
Like Shaq's gonna look like like so oversized compared to all these guys.
100%. There's nobody in this range that stands a chance. And then there's Anthony Davis, who's not even listed, which is why it makes me mad that he's the first team NBA center. I don't like that shit at all. I think Shaq, the same way Anthony Davis has 80 votes and 20 second team votes, but 81st, I think this is how Shaq gets voted in. Maybe a couple people give votes to other people.
What?
I see the Jokers
on. Shaq's gonna be a unanimous. No, I mean Joker's first there, team? So he's gonna be like 90 to 10 or whatever, something like that. Like
Joker's on his come up. He's not full MVP Joker yet, but he's on his come up.
But
Like,
Shaq's gonna give you 32 and 14 with 2.5 blocks. There's no way in hell he's not.
yeah,
Clearly.
you're right.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. This is I had it confirmed for me officially this season. This is not a record matters award. This is a stat driven, because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander made the All-NBA first team this year in 2023.
And Luka's probably
that
gonna have to get
10.
his ass on, because Kobe definitely taking that guard spot from him. Because I think it's hard to take it away from James Harden.
From Harden?
Yeah, because
I think Kobe's numbers are going to be comparable to Harden. I really do. I think they're going to be pretty close.
More than Shaq?
I think there's a universe with the 3-point shot. If Kobe takes a couple more threes a game, there's a universe where Kobe gets to 32 to 33.
Yeah,
I think it'll be close.
Usually, because they average so close to each other, you'd assume Kobe's probably averaging 32, similar to Shaq. But because again, with like you said, with the 3-point shot, it might change it a little bit. He might average a little more. But I mean, I feel like 32, probably 5 and 5 or 6 and 6, one of the two. He's it's gonna be harder than Luka, and I feel like Luka's gonna have to go, because Luka's only the 6th seed at this point.
29, 9, and 9.
I think he's the 6th seed. No, he's the 7th seed.
7th, because they played the Clippers in the first round.
Yeah. So I feel like
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's oh man, that's hard. Because like we just said, it's not record driven. It's not. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander made the first team.
If it's stats alone, I feel like
I think it's close. I think it's close between the three guys that we're talking about here. And then you got Dame down here in the second team, 34 and 8. And he's making 4.5 threes a game.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous. There's no way that he's below this second tier. There's absolutely no way. But this would be
Kobe?
a tough. Yeah,
man, Kobe's better than every single person we're talking about right now.
That's not the point. That's not what we're discussing.
But I feel like that matters. When they're voting for first team, they're gonna be like, all right, stats might be close, and then you're like, all right, who's the best?
No, people were nutting over 20-year-old Luka Doncic though.
That's true, but they're gonna they'll be dick sucking off a 22-year-old Kobe Bryant. It's
sucking that same foreign piece.
Man,
fucking, I don't know.
I think it would be arguable too.
I think it would be arguable. I think Kobe might be second team for me, but I think it would be
I definitely
very
got him
split.
Over Luka.
Yeah, if it came out that was the case, I wouldn't be like, oh, fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I know, I guess the records don't matter because of this year, but I feel like the voting for the last couple years has been very stupid. So they've done stuff that hasn't been consistent in history. So
for me personally, record matters. If I was voting, if I had a vote, record matters. I've been ridiculed for it on the show before because I got told that that's not how it works, and I got it confirmed this year with the Shea Gilgeous. I keep saying it, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who deserved it, by the way, was sick this year. One of the best guards in the league, and had a Jordan-esque stat line by the end of the season. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure he would be third team because he was 10th place. Previously, you wouldn't make the playoffs with that. So, I don't know. It was hard to believe. But MVP. We run into the same problem we always have. Kobe's probably also in this top 5.
Yep.
Which makes Shaq, it's impossible to put Shaq at number 1, which sucks.
Yeah.
For me.
Shaq.
For me personally.
Is Shaq the best player in the league, in your opinion?
Gotta be top 3.
Really?
Yes, because Giannis
I don't think it's close. I think he's the best player in the league.
Really? You think he's that much better than Giannis? I don't.
Yeah.
I definitely don't.
Giannis?
I do not.
Maybe not 2 years after Giannis.
Yeah, no.
I think. Hell yeah. There was so many flaws in Giannis's game. Like
there were so many flaws in Shaq's game. Like
yeah, but the issue is like
similar. The flaws were similar.
Yes,
like this is a stat line Shaq could have. Maybe a little less assists.
Yeah,
but this is a stat line that Shaq could definitely have. And I don't know. I think it's a very, very talented NBA by this point and going forward into the roaring 20s. Fucking, you got a lot of talent, especially at the guard position. Especially for your guards. The guard play is next level. And the centers are starting to get there to where they are now in 2023, where we got the 3 best centers in the league always vying for MVP. And it's just been a rotating cast of characters.
For sure.
Including this year with Giannis. So I think it's very close. I think Shaq's gonna be said by a large majority of people, especially because he's a popular guy. He's good on camera. He's good. I think people would.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely will be like loved and stuff. But I think he look at LeBron's issue, right? Like LeBron, he was looking like he was making a real big push for the MVP. Giannis throughout most of the year seemed like MVP though. I
said LeBron should have been MVP this year. I said it.
So
because the head-to-head matchups
look at
mattered
that gap. Look at that gap between in first place. The reason the voters gave LeBron only 16 first place votes is because his teammate is number 6 on the list.
Right.
Averaging 26 points. Yeah. So if Kobe's averaging 32, 33, there's no way. I think Giannis
plus 30
wins
points
it
in
even
30
more.
minutes is ridiculous.
Yeah. I think
the
Giannis wins it even more.
Is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. And that's the other thing. Shaq's going to be playing 40 minutes in this era where nobody's playing 40 minutes. So that's going to help his stats also, for sure. He might even be averaging more than what we said solely because of what I was thinking there. Because look at this list. Nobody's playing. The most is 37.5 by Dame Lillard. Shaq's playing 40, straight up, averaging 40.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing about Phil Jackson coming over, is that Phil Jackson said, fuck that. He's going to be on the floor as much as possible.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about what you were brought up about 15 minutes ago, because I think this is really interesting. Yeah. So, you said Shaq, historically, when it comes to long periods of time off...
If you watch every single episode of our legacy breakdown, we kind of
and if you haven't fucking done that, fuck you, all right? Fuck you. Go and do that shit. Stop watching this and go do that, all right?
I don't know, but you could watch this to the end and then go to the next one, all right? There's playlists. This. We got playlists, man. You can do whatever you want. As long as
our faces are on the screen, I'll allow it. That's what matters. That's what matters most. But...
And don't forget to hit that like button.
Definitely. It looks like this. Big thumb.
You literally can't see it. Oh, well, yeah.
And please, for the love of God, subscribe. Please subscribe. We're so close to 1,000. I hope when people watch this, we're at way more than 1,000, so this will just look stupid when I say this now. But we're almost at 1,000. Please we really want to get there. That's a big goal for everybody here on our little squad. Yeah. So, there you go. That's my PSA. Anyways, go ahead. Shaquille O'Neal will appear, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Shaq's probably going to be 20, 30 pounds heavier. Kobe's going to be hella fit, and that might be an argument there, more than likely. But it all,
in the bubble, where they can't escape each other. That's the interesting part.
Yeah, the only difference,
there's no breaks.
Because usually Shaq's excuse for why he would do that is because he always felt like he'd work himself into shape during the regular season.
One thing I know I got a guy that's going to be ready. Mm-hmm. So I admit a lot of times I didn't come into camp ready because that's just how I got done. Because my thing is, I don't need to get ready for dunking.
Right.
I don't need to get ready. I'll get ready when I get ready. So because I had you, I was able to just chill out in the summer, do what I do.
See, that's what pissed me off. That was it right there. That was.
Listen, I got beat up. I got hack and shack. I was tired, man. I ain't doing no work. I'm going home. I'm swimming. Me and Uncle Jerome, we sipping pina coladas, we eating burgers.
My ass is in the gym 10 hours a day.
One thing I know I got a kid that's going to give me 40 wherever he wants to.
But I feel like knowing that you could possibly, like, you're 10 games away from the playoffs, I just don't know if he'll do that or not. Like, that's the weird part. Like, you could completely assume he won't do it, but like, his history says that he probably will. Like, it was a 3-month gap.
He definitely will. Here's why I think he definitely will. 100%. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Nobody knew we were going to start the season. There were rumors. I'm sure he would have heard through the grapevine that, like, oh, they're thinking about getting the league going again. But nobody really knew when we were going to start.
I don't think
Nobody
they
really knew
ever
what the
gave
deal
inclination that they were going to cancel the whole season. I feel like
I don't think in March of 2020, and now we're getting into stuff that I have no business talking about, but I don't think in March of 2020 anybody knew anything about what was to come in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert touched all those microphones and licked his palms and weird shit, and the whole world shut the fuck down. The whole world ended for a while. We are not sitting here doing this podcast if not for those 2 weeks that happened afterwards where no one was doing shit. No one was doing anything.
2 weeks? You mean 2 months?
Except for essential workers. We love you guys. Rep the essential workers during that time. Sorry you had to go through that shit.
I suppose. No, I'm...
Yeah. Sorry you had to go through that shit. Fucking,
yeah, it's just sucked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I feel bad for them. But having said that, nobody fucking knew what was going on. When the basketball season came back and we still weren't going to work, I was like, how is this, man? This is crazy that this is happening. Like, I was like, so let me get this straight. Nobody can go to Disney World. Nobody can go to Disney World. But I select a few people from ESPN, cameramen, and 30 of the most or not 30, but like, let's say 100, roughly. 100 of the most well-known, talented basketball players on planet Earth. Coaching staffs, etc.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it unfathomable before that point.
Yeah.
UFC made an island for fighting at the same time. Money was being thrown around left and right. People didn't know what the fuck to do. Disney was like, how are we going to make money? We got to get basketball back.
If
we
people
need
are listening like
ESPN.
7 years from now or 10 years from now, something like that, like, they're probably going to be like, what the fuck are these people talking about? Just because it was such a crazy time. It's insane. Like, it was 3 years ago, and it feels like that shit was forever ago because it was crazy, man.
The world was shut down, hospitals were crammed, and all we could think about was, we got to get LeBron this chip. Like, that's where the world was at.
Man, I was playing 2K.
Disney was like, we got to get LeBron this chip.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy theory for sure.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of crazy conspiracy theories about the bubble. But I have in front of us the pace for specifically the 2020 playoffs, and it drops. Right? It drops, it takes a dive, and now I don't think they would be the lowest paced team in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure. I got to check. Because I think it's a little bit lower, but nothing. 92, so it's a little higher. Yeah, at 92, they're second to last. Which you say, Russell, shut up. It's by half a point. I hope you die. But no. I say this because it was such a dramatic drop-off in the regular season that I think it gives them a chance to be significantly more competitive here, even though their three-point shooting is going to be by far the lowest here. We said they were at 16. Yep. Nobody here is shooting less than 30. Absolutely no one in the whole playoffs.
To put it in perspective, they were making 5 threes a game. I think in the playoffs they might have been making 6, and everybody's doubling them.
Yep.
So that's
it's insane. It's fucking insane, and it's going to be interesting as we go through these playoffs. Who do we want to see first? I have 3 teams in my head, but
Me
I
too.
want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear what you guys think.
Lindsay, you go first.
Please don't make me.
Yeah, we're making you. We're making you go first.
Okay. The 3 teams in your head.
No, I want you to. Who should we see in the playoffs?
Yeah.
The 3 teams.
You're not guessing. Yeah, who do you got?
yeah.
Who do you think we should go against? Western Conference.
No, I know, because it's the Lakers. Thank you. Fuck you very much.
Listen. All right.
Well, obviously, there's going to be a Lakers matchup.
Yeah.
I think so.
We have a flashback. If y'all remember
The
this.
Nuggets.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm like kind of on the fence about.
No,
but
the
I wanted to
Nuggets
see
for
what you guys
sure.
thought about that. Okay.
And then, I mean, I feel like you have to say the Clippers, but like I don't want to.
I want to.
But that's where my gut's leaning.
That was my exact pick.
I've said the Clippers the last 3 fucking episodes. I've tried to get the
have to be
Clippers
first,
involved.
and then you do Nuggets, and then you do Lakers. That's the order.
Yep, that was exactly
right.
my pick.
Clippers are going to be first round outers.
That's what we're gonna do. So
Right.
the 1920 LA Clippers, the Kings of LA, Kawhi with that beautiful blue drop top convertible car, right? With the Nike SB, right? Isn't that him? No. Yeah, and it's like I'm the king of LA now.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Kawhi Leonard, Paul
What are you average in
George.
the playoffs?
A lot.
Yeah.
He did well.
He was wild. Oh, he only had 1 more point.
28, 9 and 5.5 with
I remember him
2.3
getting
steals.
32 pieces and shit like that, but
Yeah,
right.
well, he had that insane series against the Mavs.
You remember when they just like choked to death?
Well, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting
My
there.
bad.
So, as you can see beneath, well, I should have actually. Let me go back here real quick, because if you could see there, Paul George is sitting there shooting just about 40% on the year or on the playoffs. When for the regular season he shot 44%, and the reason that happened is because his mind completely just got warped by the bubble.
Playoff P.
Yeah. He cracked under the pressure of the bubble. Self-admittedly cracked under the pressure of the bubble.
Pandemic.
Seriously. He literally had interviews about it, bitch ass.
He literally went. He literally said it after a good game on NBA TV. He literally went, and he was like, I've had a lot of serious mental issues. Now look, admittedly, I'm a person with anxiety. I'm a person with my own set of mental issues. Not hitting on mental issues. Let's just get that shit out of the way. Having said that,
man.
I don't. He admitted that shit got to him in the fucking bubble.
Man.
Like, no getting around that. And shit got to the whole fucking Clippers in the bubble because they were up 3-1 on the Denver Nuggets. And Nikola Jokic said, ha ha ha, I am the Joker. I am going to...
And Jamal Murray.
I'm going to go 24, 13, and 6 on your face. And Jamal Murray, did he drop 50 at any point in this series?
I think
he did.
He had to.
I know he did it against... I know for sure that he did it against...
Utah.
The Jazz, yeah.
Yeah.
Because Donovan Mitchell and him had a
they
battle
were
royale.
at it.
Yeah, he had 40,
he had a 40 piece.
40 in Game 7.
Piece. Yeah.
He had 40 in Game 7, 6 threes. And yeah, all around okay before that. But what do you call it? They come back from 3. Nuggets come back from 3-1 to beat this Clipper team that completely fell apart. And LeBron went on after the season and said, "We're waiting for him. We were waiting for him in the conference finals." Never fucking showed up.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but who you got? How many games?
Is this
Lindsay's gonna go first.
I was about to say, I'm like, damn, Russ is having a long ass dump because he's just shitting on the Clippers.
Trying to set the scene for you. I'm leaving no stone unturned here. Lindsay, who you got? How many games?
Clippers versus Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
That's correct.
5 games, Lakers.
Okay. where do you think? I just think it'd be interesting. I think Kawhi has a lot of success against this team.
Yeah, but that's it.
I just got to look at this roster. Like, I think it's going 6 no matter what. Like, it's going to go at least 6 games.
I agree with Lindsay, by the way. I already had that.
Too many threes.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, why are we acting like...
What did Montrezl Harrell do in the playoffs? Can you look at him for me, please? Because it's just...
Man.
No, cause I'm just confused. Okay, and then go back to the regular season.
Just 7%.
Go back to the regular season.
18 points a game, 6th man of the year.
So he almost dropped 10 whole points from his average from the regular season into the playoffs.
Yeah. Mind you, you got playoff.
He was the 6th man that year. Yeah, he was the 6th man.
PP over there, just not
2
fucking
guys
doing
on your
what you
team,
got to do.
18 a game off the bench.
Who both disappeared in the bubble. So, 5 games at most, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my guy Lou Will went to go get some wings.
6 men like Lou Will. Yeah, facts.
My man went to go get some wings. Don't hate on Lou Will for getting those lemon pepper. Can I get that lemon pepper water, please?
Yeah, he was definitely tweaking. Okay. I definitely got 2001 Lakers in 5 games for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think so Shaq's gonna feast. There's no way in hell that he doesn't. 35 plus a game easily.
Nobody.
Like Zubac?
My man Zoo.
Yeah. Big Zoo about to get big dog walked. He's gonna be he's gonna treat him like a rag doll.
Did he play? I know he played a little bit for the Clippers, but did he play in the bubble for the Clippers? Not really at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
I remember him in a Clippers jersey very vaguely, but no, they have no one to guard Shaq. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be horrible already. And then Kobe's still, like, literally going to feast as well. I know naturally people are thinking the two greatest wing defenders since Michael and Scottie, and Kobe's going to elitely drop 35 on both of them as well. Whatever Luka was doing
I definitely don't think so.
Are you insane? Luka was literally eating these guys alive, and we're going to say Kobe Bryant wouldn't? I don't understand, like, how we don't... No, we're not even acting like this. Kawhi is not the same defender. I'm saying this 3 years later because I was saying this at that time. Kawhi Leonard is not the same defender that he was in 2019 and before that, and that's just a fact.
No, I think it was more so the team defense was atrocious. Kawhi is still really good, like individual defender, but that team was just fucking horrible.
You guys could feel that way, but I remember Luka putting 40 pieces on them, and I remember Kawhi guarding him during that time too.
You were texting me saying, Russell, I don't know what you're talking about. Luka's definitely not going off. He's not that guy. He's hurt. And I said, Dario,
and that's me trusting in
happen.
That Kawhi. I'm like, he's injured. Kawhi could be guarding him. Like, Kawhi should be taking over this at some point, and he was not doing that. That's because Luka was the man, and there's no way in hell Kobe wouldn't be the same shit. I don't understand.
No, because you're 2 completely different players. That would be the reason.
Yeah, one is significantly more skilled.
Luka shoots. Yeah, Luka Doncic is way more skilled than this Kobe Bryant.
Kobe?
Than this Kobe. Yes, correct.
Literally, when they talk about like a player getting into their bag,
30-year-old Kobe
Bryant
has the skill of this Luka Doncic for sure. But Luka is a way more skilled basketball player.
Oh man,
Kobe is infinitely more athletic.
I'm not doing this. We're not doing one of these.
22-year-old Kobe Bryant is not as skilled as Luka Doncic at any age.
In the comments, please let us know if you agree with us or not.
Yeah, you already know you agree with me. That. Just go watch some film and you'll agree.
Yeah, let's move on.
We're not talking triple threat. We're not talking triple threat, Kobe. I have 0-1 Lakers in 6. Yeah, because I think there's going to be lots of 3-point shooting, and I think they steal 2 games. It's everything we were talking about before. They're making double.
This nigga's literally. I think he's putting a controller in the Clippers' ass and playing the game.
Who's making these threes for the Clippers?
Everybody. They have so many guys shooting threes. Look how many guys are taking at least 20 threes in this series.
Russell, do you want to really learn math? Threes. Russell, do you really want to learn math right now? Because if I teach you math,
2 points.
Yes.
3 points are more than 2.
That's when you're putting 1-to-1, and it depends on averages. So all you gotta do is average 33 point whatever percent of 3-pointers to make 50% of 2-pointers, right? But Shaq's gonna be averaging like 80% from the 2-point line because no one's gonna be able to stop him. He's gonna be dunking. Yeah, the 2-point line is gonna be him and the fucking rim, and he's just gonna be dunking on them every single fucking time. Like, who's gonna stop him from scoring?
I'm not disagreeing. I didn't say they were going to lose. I just said, and I think that look, this has been consistent throughout the whole thing. I don't think this 0-1 Lakers team is any good besides Shaq and Kobe. So, like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of firepower to match up, even with a worse Clippers team than the regular season. I still think they have way more depth than the Lakers. They just do. So I'm going to give them an extra game because the others will be better and shoot a bunch of threes, and it'll be like a 130-105 victory. That'll be one game. And then it'll be another game where Kobe goes 8 for 30, something stupid will happen, and they'll lose fucking, 92 to 121.
Yeah. It's all right. Everybody's allowed to have a wrong opinion. But
then after that, the Lakers will win 4 games in between them.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I just think I think the 3-point shot matters, and more skilled basketball players matter. Because
I think not being mentally a fucking bum matters, and that team was collectively mentally fucking bums.
You think more skilled basketball players matter, us? So
yes.
you would think that undrafted players going against top elite stars would get dominated, right?
No. What I'm saying is...
because he knew exactly where I was going with that.
No. Because that's not what I'm trying to say, though. That's actually not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is...
I don't know, because that sounded exactly like what you were trying to say.
I got you. You ready? This is what I'm trying to say. Do you think guys in the 60s were as skilled as guys who played in the 90s?
No.
Okay. So we are as far away now from the 90s as they were in the 60s. So what I'm saying is, there's a big fucking skill gap over 25, 30 years.
Bro, like, the difference in, like, technology from 2001 to 2022 in terms of the sports equipment.
It's huge.
The sports equipment versus... Because, like, not everybody's using these hyperbolic time chambers or whatever the fuck. And maybe that was more of a Dragon Ball Z reference than an actual thing, but... LeBron is the only one really using them shits. I don't hear fucking like Luka using this shit and all these other people.
No,
like nobody else is doing that shit.
It's getting more and more popular, and it's also really popular. It's also really popular in fighting too, but that goes neither here nor there.
Yeah, and also Russell, the difference between the 60s to the 90s is 30 years. I know you bad at math, bro, but
2023
the 2001 Lakers to the 2020 Lakers is 19 years, bro. That's either way difference.
It's okay, so even then, 70s to 90s. It's the same. I'm gonna get the same answer from you when we talk 70s. Yeah, but the 70s
was trash as fuck, though. If you go from the 80s to the 2000s, I promise you that.
To your point,
all right, so Russell, let's go from the 80s to the 2000s.
Like this.
From the 80s to the 2000s, who had more talent?
In terms of like an average player?
No. Who had more talent?
Because this is my point. He's not talking about stars.
Yeah, he's not saying the stars. He's saying the average basketball player.
Yeah, I'm saying...
Even so, from the 80s to the 2000s, you think from the average basketball player...
I'm saying give me Greg Vincent over, or whatever the fuck that guy's name is, over who plays for the Heat right now, over a guy like Derek Fisher. Like, I'll take him because he is a better basketball player.
That is not true at all.
Has more skills.
That is not true at all. Hell no.
That's my opinion. It's not whether it's true.
You could again, we could have wrong opinions because Derek Fisher is not that trash. Like you are crazy. Like,
he's not saying that it's trash. He's saying that there's levels. And that the
but he's saying that a fucking he literally is saying that an undrafted player is better than Derek Fisher, and that's not true.
An undrafted player in 2020 that makes an NBA team that is relevant in the playoffs, 2023, could definitely be better than Derek Fisher. Like, you're leaving the context out. That's your
I'll
opinion.
take Derek
I
Fisher
don't agree.
every single time over to Gabe Davis, but whatever, or whatever
Gabe,
the hell the motherfucker's
Gabe
name.
Davis?
Yeah,
Neither
Gabe
of us
Davis.
has managed to say his name right.
Fucking
We've
Bills.
tried 2 or 3 times, and
That's
neither
what
of
I'm
us
saying.
managed
Like
to say
we
his name
shouldn't
right.
even be talking about this dude, and this nigga's getting compared to Derek Fisher.
I'm just saying that we're in an era of where there's a huge skill gap over the era before it. And I was talking about this when we were talking about the Miami Heat era. Like I
think this from the 2010s to the 2020. Well, really it's 2015 to 2020 or this era, 2023. That's where all of this talent came along. Like, but from 2015 to 2000 to 2000, you would not say the same thing. Like that talent wasn't 100% there. Like
I'm not going to disagree.
There was a lot of trash players. Like
I'm not going to disagree with you, but that's
why I don't agree with the 20-year gap thing, because it's not true all the way through. Like it's only now because of the talent that we got the last couple years.
But I think that was inevitable. I guess is my point. Is that
in the 80s it happened. It's literally is just peaks and valleys. It's like investing. Like it's literally peaks and valleys of when you're getting players. Like it took a while to like develop a lot of these Euro players or whatever these.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Like it's now, and that's the other part of the cool part about where we're at now and going forward. Like it's really a global game now. We really do have the best players in the world as opposed to the best players in America. And that makes a big difference too. And that elevated the skill gap. Because, you can't shoot? Fuck it. I'll go get some guys from Serbia that can hit 40%. I don't give a shit. Fucking no, there's no loyalty anymore. Like it's different. Like it's just about who are the best players on the floor and what roles can they play for my team. And I don't think basketball was as sophisticated like that previously. I just don't. Because there's lots of proof to show that it wasn't. Like, and it's crazy how far basketball's come with the advancement of technology and fucking like all kinds of advancements, not just medical advancements, but like analytics on the floor, like understand new ways to analyze film, like different types of breaking down tendencies further. Like, you can get down to the minutia now.
But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball and chemistry is chemistry. And the issue with this Clippers team throughout the whole regular season and playoffs was they did not have chemistry. They didn't have their stars playing together at the same time. And that was an issue. And we know when this Laker team clicks in the playoffs, they literally swept through the entire playoffs besides one game against the 76ers. So for me, that's what makes it not that close. I'm giving the talent and obviously Kawhi could win a game. So I'm giving him that respect for the 5 games, but I don't see it going more than 5.
That was my thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. But we said Nuggets next?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have the rise of the Joker, right? This is really, and in hindsight, like when we do Joker's legacy breakdown, this playoffs will be the Joker's on the mat moment, really. Like, he he takes a huge jump. He goes from 19, so basically 20 points a game, up to 24 and a half. And not at 10 rebounds, 6 assists, really starting to further embrace that passing role.
Russell wants to bring somebody up, man. Like you straight up averaged higher, and then you gave him 24 and a half when it was 24.4. All right, man. You keep on.
I always do 24. I always do halves. That's not new. I always fucking do halves.
All right. But I'm gonna have to go back to the footage and see that because.
It's not my fault. Okay, 26 and a half for Jamal Murray. Obviously, up until the 2023 playoffs that we're currently in, he was known as Bubble Murray for this reason. Popped off hard in the bubble. Took a lot of criticism by people like me and Dario afterwards.
Yeah.
Because he did not show up like this after the bubble until now for some reason.
Yeah. Well, he tore ACL throughout the time frame, so I'm gonna give him a little bit of...
he got hurt. Yeah, but still, it seemed like it was like, the same thing with Tyler Hero. It was like a flash in the pan. It's just crazy. But they're going to make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. I talked about the 3-1 comeback of the Clippers. I think this is if this team did not shoot threes, this would be a sweep. This is 5 games for me. Because I don't think the Joker's there at all to
you actually have the Lakers winning in 5 against this team?
Yes. Because I don't think this team's as deep. I don't think this team's as deep as the Clippers. I don't think this team has I think this, almost every guy here, this is their first really serious playoff time. And nobody can guard Kobe. And nobody can guard Shaq. There's no Kawhi Leonard on this team. They don't have an answer. Joker's not the guy that's doing the Sambor shuffle yet, where he's really making motherfuckers pay.
Yeah, and he's not doing the one-legged ballerina
like what he did to Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he's
where Anthony Davis had to go after the game and said, "What more can I do?"
Yeah. Which it's true, AD. You couldn't do much. But
yeah, it's not your fault. Nobody.
My issue here,
everybody was feeling for you.
Yeah, I could see. I could see it going 5 or even 6 with the threes, but plus Joker pulling out Shaq. That's gonna be a little bit of a disadvantage to Shaq, but it's also Shaq's gonna be on Joker's bumper the whole time.
Yes.
So it's like
it
goes both ways. But I think Shaq's definitely gonna, because he always had issues, and he had mentioned this in I think in an interview at one point. But guys that like shot, I feel like pulled him out and shot the basketball. Like I can't remember. Was it something Smith, Rick Smith or something? He used to always say like he. Yeah, because I think he said that he used to.
Rick Smits. Yeah.
One of those guys, like he said that he would always kill him because, like he didn't expect much from him.
Big country.
Yeah, maybe one of those or something. I don't know. And he would like make these stupid shots and stuff. And I feel like the Joker could do that to Shaq for sure, especially if this is his coming out party. So I could see it going possibly 5 or 6. My issue is Shaq's gonna be on Joker's ass for sure, and then I think Kobe. And I don't know what you think. I'm assuming you think this, but I don't know anymore at this point how you feel about Kobe Bryant. I think Kobe will lock Jamal Murray the fuck up. So I think the 2 key pieces don't mean that much in this series. So it's probably a 5-game series.
Like that, and I think that's the big difference between the Clippers and the Nuggets. Like, even though their 3-point shooting is actually like basically exactly the same.
Yeah.
By the numbers. The Clippers do have more to throw at the Lakers defensively, at least at one of their stars. Like, Nuggets don't have shit in this period of time. Like,
I just feel like the Clippers perimeter defense is being overrated though. Because in this,
I'm not saying it's
on paper,
but it's way better than the Nuggets.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's
for
way
sure.
better than the Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's because I got criticized for the 6-game series. This is why I say 5 for the Nuggets and 6 for the Clippers. Because I just think that the Nuggets do get that game for threes, and I think everybody will get a 3-point game of respect as we go forward. But like, I find it extremely hard to believe that Joker's going to outplay Shaq at this point of Joker's career. I don't think that's happening. I think Jamal Murray, you can try and compete with Kobe at this point, but I just don't think he's there yet. It's just a team that's like, them getting to the Western Conference Finals was a surprise. It is what it is. It took them 7 games to get through the Clippers. The Clippers blew that shit. Like,
everybody expected Lakers and Clippers for sure.
Yep. That was the narrative the whole season.
Yeah.
And
Clippers was
I don't see this Nuggets team putting up more of a fight. Yeah, they were big time. Yes.
Yeah.
Massive hoes. But it doesn't sound as good. Sound as good when I say ho. You just say it. It sounds weird when I say it. I don't like it. Doesn't sound. It doesn't have as good of a.
I got you. I'll give you the for it. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But Lindsay, who you got? How many games?
Oh, my bad.
I have 5 games again, and I have the Lakers.
How many points do you have Shaq averaging?
he fucks Jokic up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like it's not.
Jokic
Man,
also
that's like an
smaller,
Olay
too.
to the basket. Like Joker's damn near gonna be walking him to the basket. Like, here you go, come on, let's get there, big boy. Don't
You
you
can't
don't gotta
stay in
elbow
front
me,
of him at
Papa.
all.
I'm all right.
Like, Joker knows how to post up, and he can do stuff offensively, and he'll make Shaq do things offensively, but he ain't seen nothing like this man in his life before. Like, that's just, I got Shaq putting up 30, 35, and 14 or 15. Like,
yeah.
It's a battle. Maybe a little less on the rebounds just because Joker's a good rebounder, but even then, he's not at the 13, 14 rebounds he's going to be at where he's at today after 2 MVPs. Like, I don't know. So, now we have the big showdown. So, we have covered this before, but we took the 2020 Lakers to 2001 under a different rule set.
Yes.
And I think that matters. And I said this last episode, but I think that matters because Shaq talks a lot about fouling and like how if he played in this era, like he'd go, like yes, he would go to the free throw line a lot, but I think the part that he misses out on is he would have an NBA record or close to it for flagrant fouls in a playoffs, or like him getting Draymond Green style suspended would not surprise me all that much in certain situations.
Yeah.
And this is this series is really interesting to me in 2020 and in the bubble because I think there are two very mentally tough teams. The problem we had originally and the problem we have now is there's just still this Laker team doesn't have a big answer for Shaq. And the reason why this pisses me off that Anthony Davis was the first team center for real this year is because he has they had to put 7-footers on the team because Anthony Davis refused to play center for such a long time in his career.
Yeah.
Like, if Anthony Davis just decides to play center, I think this is a much more competitive matchup. Even then, I mean, even though I just said that,
yeah, I'm about to say I think it's
shooting,
a 6 or 7 game series, something like that.
So because I went back and watched the episode before we did this, just to get an idea of what we were talking about. Yeah. You had the 0-1 Lakers in 2001. You had them in 6 games. I had picked them in 5 games as kind of like a troll, but also like I just didn't. There's no real answer. There's no real answer for Shaq.
I thought you were like that whole time. I remember you like bringing up all the cases for the 2020 Lakers, and then you're like 0-1 Lakers in 5, and I was like, go fuck yourself, Ross.
That's
like,
correct.
Just go.
That's correct. Yeah. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. Go watch that if you want to see some expert trolling. But what do you call it? I do think this is a really deep team. Like, I do think that.
Yep. I like the hybridness, like how they could go big and small, and I feel like that's gonna be a huge problem for this 0-1 Laker team, especially when you have like Shaq. I mean, Shaq's not gonna sit out much; it's only gonna be maximum 8 minutes.
Right.
And because the issue with the going small is you can't go small with Shaq. Because that's going to just like, you can't match up the points at that point. Because he's going to score, however many 2-point shots that you have a small guy on him. Because there's no way in hell you can, unless you double team him. I don't even know if they can stop him if they double team them. Like,
I think Anthony Davis would have a better chance in 2023 against Shaq than he did in 2020.
He is like
because
more
he's like
stocky.
He's like a fatter fuck now. Like they told him he was putting on weight, or they told him he was playing center, and this guy was like, "Man, I need to get fat. I need to start
That's crazy.
Putting on that. He added it feels like he added 20 pounds at least.
Yeah, he looked bigger. Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking it up because I don't even think I can look this up by season, but there's a definitive,
Yeah,
and I'll have the two pictures up on your screen right now, but there's a definitive difference in what the guy looks like now than what he did even during the bubble. Like, he was a skinnier dude, and it made sense that he didn't want to play center because he was always a skinnier dude, more like a Kevin Garnett,
Yeah,
that
like
type
that's
of
showing.
style.
Like when he came into the league, he was 220 pounds, 6'10". That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like MJ. MJ was 220 or 215 in 2023, and he looked. He wasn't like fat. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and this year,
he was 4 inches shorter.
Wikipedia has him at 253 pounds. So that makes me feel a little better.
And
It's
Shaq
Wikipedia,
still
but
weighs
still.
him by 100 pounds. So that's
Crazy,
another
right?
He's still ragdoll. So this is my issue, right? I think AD, because naturally we have recency bias, so we naturally just think AD's trash because he's been trashed this year. And he had ups and downs throughout this playoff. So, but in this postseason, he actually was pretty consistent, I would say, and he had LeBron definitely mentoring him throughout this process. But he was also pushing LeBron to play better defense and all this other stuff. I remember that throughout the playoffs and regular season. So my issue is, sure, AD might not be able to compete with Shaq much, because I think Shaq still could get 35, 40 if he wanted to.
Right.
But I think AD could still get his 28. Because if Shaq has to be pulled out of the paint and do stuff like that, like, that's gonna exhaust him a little bit. And then I think this LeBron is too big for like anybody on the Lakers to guard. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, because I don't think Kobe could guard him.
That was the
at
case that I
22.
made for the last, when we talked about this previously. That was the thing. Historically, when you have no answer for LeBron, it doesn't end well for you. Like, it doesn't, that's a lost series 9 times out of 10. And now that we are even further away from this season now than we were even when we did the last hypothetical for this matchup, he's still fucking unbelievable. Like, we were thinking this was him on the decline.
Yeah.
That's a fact. We were thinking this was him on the decline.
Yeah.
He's got another fucking few years to go. Incredible.
He definitely did have
level.
some games where he looked like he's not that 20. He was definitely not 2018 LeBron during this run, and he hasn't been.
I remember this vividly. We did a podcast going into that postseason because we were covering more of the current day product at the time.
Yep.
And we did a podcast going into that season where you and I talked about, or going into the bubble playoffs, where you and I talked about, we brought up specific plays where we saw LeBron's lost a step athletically.
Whenever LeBron ever wants to attack, he typically gets there without a problem. Like, that's one thing that you don't really have. You don't look at LeBron and ever say he's lost. Like, he always has that, I can always attack whenever I want and take advantage. And that's why people always criticize him, because they felt like he could always do that and he wouldn't in key moments of the games. And that's why they called him a pussy. And I feel like in this game, when I was watching it, I was like, LeBron looks like he's trying to attack and he can't. And I thought that was scary for me as a Laker fan, because I'm like, I need you to be able to do that. But then in the fourth quarters, you could tell he turns it up a little bit and goes, but it's still not the same. It's not coming as easy. Mm-hmm.
But then he came out in the playoffs, won another Finals MVP, 30, 12, and 8.5 in the finals, shooting 59%, 42% from 3.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw him ever that that I could remember was this year in 2023 in Game 4 of the sweep that Denver just delivered, where he tried to play 48 minutes and actually couldn't do it. Lost his legs fell. That's really the first time I've seen it where it was like so clear that age had finally caught up to him.
Yeah.
So I can say with confidence at this point, LeBron's good for this stat line. Like, I definitely think he's good for this stat line. Like, 30, maybe 10 rebounds, because you got Shaq, you got Horace Grant, there's a little bit more, bigger bodies than what he was seeing previously. But I think 8 or 9 assists is completely realistic. And
I just don't know if he's. I don't know because he didn't have the issue with that Miami series is he didn't have much resistance at the basket.
Agreed.
Bam was injured during that series.
Right.
And he just and I think he'll have much more resistance at the basket. So maybe just he might still get 30, but it might be on lower shooting. I don't think he's shooting at 59% or whatever he was shooting. It's probably gonna be like more like 51, 52, something like that. I don't think anybody on the 40, Lakers could guard Kobe. On this Laker team could guard Kobe. So even LeBron at this age. Russell literally thinks Kobe in 2001 was trash or something. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, like LeBron was not.
Caruso is going to be spending the whole time in his fucking.
Nah,
he's going to be.
Leaving.
He's going to be.
No.
My guy.
No way. Hell no. You are not bringing up Alex Caruso, man. What the fuck are we talking about here, man?
Oh man. No, you're making me break my set behind me, my beautiful set.
Man, this man is tweaking. He just said Alex Caruso. I thought you were gonna bring up LeBron or something. Man said
my guy
Alex Caruso
is gonna be looking at the screen in his hotel room like this, just staring into the screen, begging for Kobe. Give me Kobe. This is my one goal in life. This is pre-money, Caruso. This is he's getting the league minimum. He's probably getting less. He's probably getting minimum wage to be out there. Okay. With his bald spot. Representing all us bald spot people out there. Let's fucking go.
I don't want to hear this
up defense. One of the best defenders in the league.
Tell me who you got. I don't want to hear this. Man,
I got 01 Lakers in 7.
All right, I'm not mad
at
that. I got him in 6 or 7, so I'm not mad at that at all.
If it goes
7, give me Shaq and Kobe. They're gonna wall out.
That's where my head was at. I think in a game 7, I could see Anthony Davis shriveling up like a raisin, and I don't see that happening. Shaq had a really bad game in Portland, game 7, 2000 playoffs, up until the fourth quarter, right? And then he turned it on. Exactly. Fucking.
Remember that? Yeah.
This shit. Fucking.
Yeah.
All that garbage. So, historically, and Shaq did have his moments where he been swept more than any superstar ever. But I'll still take him and a highly motivated Kobe Bryant in a Game 7 scenario. I would pick Kobe as the best player in a Game 7 at this point, closely edging out LeBron. Closely. Because I think LeBron's overall his clutch bullshit. I think LeBron's that guy now, like, killer, murderer. That LeBron gets 30, 10, and 10 and triple-double in the Game 7 for sure. Yeah. But when it comes to AD and Shaq, I'm taking Shaq. The only way they lose that Game 7 is if the Lakers just shoot an insane amount of threes. If they make like 15, 16 threes, then, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But I'd still take the Lakers, the 01 Lakers, to slow down the pace, and I'll take them in 7. Lindsay, what you got?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not an acceptable answer. I can't write that under your name.
No, I understand. So I guess I'm thinking 7 games, but I have this LeBron over this Kobe in terms of Game 7 at this point.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I can't be mad at that.
Most people probably would because we have a lot of LeBron tards in this world now.
I think it's close. I really do. I think it's close because LeBron is definitely more battle tested.
Yeah.
LeBron is more battle tested in 2020 than Kobe
especially
at 01.
in 01, like that hunger, man. Like
I agree.
I
And
feel
that's
like
what pushed him
I
over
feel
the
like
edge for
that
me.
it's just different. Like, and he's not. It's not the championship. It's like him proving like I'm the best in the world, and like in his opinion. Like I feel like that was his big thing in 01 and especially 02. 02 he comes out, he starts, and then 03 it's when everybody just knows. But whatever, we're not doing that. We're just not.
But so you got the 2020 Lakers in 7?
I'm not mad
Well,
at like honestly. I
maybe,
think it could go
yeah.
either way. Like it's not. It's not like
I think so.
It's yeah. I'm not mad at that.
And also, you got to remember, Dario. I don't know how you're like, because you're right. Because think about it, the 2020 Lakers, they were playing for Kobe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like their god, the person they were playing for, is gonna be dicking them straight down.
They're gonna be looking at him. But I don't
How do
understand.
you
You're
like
dead. You're
having
supposed
Jesus'
to be dead.
penis in your fucking lip?
Well, I mean, people eat the body of Christ all the time at Mass. So it should be normal.
Oh, true.
Should
True.
just
One
taste
thing I
like
know
a regular
about-
old Sunday.
All right.
I
look.
got it there. So
Man,
we haven't really talked about this since I feel personally responsible for the run Jimmy Butler's been on over the
Timothy?
last 3 years. Who?
Timothy?
Timothy. Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy Butler. I will do my best
You
to find this
definitely are
footage.
responsible.
I'll do my best to find this footage. It
I'll
happened at
find it
like
for
3
you
in
if
the
you have a problem. Just let me know.
It happened at like 3 in the morning. On just to pull back the curtain a little bit, we did with fucking 4 subscribers. We did a playoff spectacular at 4 in the morning because Daryl had to go on vacation the next day.
Yeah.
We fucking got up. We all stayed up super late to do this fucking show. And
We argued about Giannis not having a jump shot for like
that didn't even see the light of day.
Seriously.
But what is in there is me essentially pulling my pants down and taking a giant diarrhea-filled shit on Jimmy Butler and his whole life. I just don't. And I felt this way Jimmy Butler's entire career. We're talking about a guy who's putting up 20 points a game.
Is he a star to you?
No. That's what I'm about to say. I think I think on a championship team, he's a third guy. Maybe a second guy. I think on like a dominant championship team, I think he's a nice third guy. Amazing two-way.
Like I look at him and think of like a little worse version of a Paul George. Like that.
Okay.
Like I feel like I could see their play style being very similar in that sense. He's probably a little better defensively. But Paul George is no slouch defensively anyways. But
because I know Butler's leading the team in points, obviously, but barely hitting 20 points a game. Effective field goal percentage, 47%. Like he's not shooting the ball super efficiently.
Yeah.
Being against Indiana, that'll be the NBA TV series. So,
My man said, doesn't matter.
So this is my point. I'm going to get back to why I put this. You think the Heat have any chance against Milwaukee in the second round?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. I think they have.
I would like
I think.
to this big.
I think.
Seeing as you have him losing in 6 games.
Yeah.
In your bracket.
But
so I would like to hear this case.
Yeah. But
it was Heat Bucks. I was very high on Giannis. Thought for sure this was his year. 30 points, 30 minutes a game. Was so positive that everything was going to work out for him. And I just said, Jimmy Butler, he's had plenty of opportunities to be the guy, and he never fucking gets it done. He never gets it done. He never gets it done when you need him the most. He's not that guy. He'll never be that guy. And then since I said that, literally the day after I said that shit, he has been playoff Jimmy.
Yeah.
Destroying people left and right, going to another NBA Finals this year after basically being Michael Jordan in 2023.
Yeah.
Comparable stats to a peak Michael Jordan. And I don't fucking came out of nowhere. I've never seen that happen to a guy over 30 years old like that. Like he's 30 in this 2020 playoffs. He is 30 years old.
Yeah.
And
It's like he's
22,
peaking in his 11th season. It's like
that's what I'm
weird.
saying. 22, 6.5, and 6 is not all that impressive. That fucking picture of him in the dreads is hilarious. But in the finals, had multiple triple doubles. Finals numbers of 26.
The first 40-point triple double,
10.
I think, besides LeBron, right?
In the
I think
finals,
he was
right?
the only other player with
Some stat like that. He's on a very short list of guys to ever do that.
Yeah.
55% shooting. And a complete savage. Not to mention, he had the white shooters.
Yes.
The men who were caucus and shot that thing better than anybody in the bubble, not named Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bombers.
They literally became the Splash Brothers. The white
Bombers.
version. Yeah.
Jay Crowder was out there shooting threes. Goran Dragic, Lindsay's favorite player from the playoffs of the bubble. Fucking loved Goran Dragic.
I remember when Lindsay was trying to give Dragic all the credit instead of Jimmy. That was the funniest.
Facts. That did happen.
I remember that.
And I
was like, damn, we really not about to give Jimmy his credit.
And I claim that Lindsay may or may not have gone to the bubble and performed fellatio on Mr. Dragic. But
oh fuck yeah, that did happen.
It definitely happened. Look it up. It's in the archives, in the Wayback Machine. Look it up.
All right, let's keep going.
No, the accusation happened, Dario.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, damn, look, we acted like we have like porno on our fucking channel now. I'm like, damn.
It's on there. It's on there. Lindsay never has a camera on the show, but yeah, we did a full-fledged porno with her Goran Dragic. That makes sense. Logic flawless. What you got? How many games? What are we talking about? What do you think?
You want me to go first?
I'll go first if you don't want me. If you don't want to,
sure. I'll rather you go first.
I got Lakers in 4.
4?
Yeah, I got him in a
See, I gave Jimmy a game. I think it's 5.
I just don't,
especially
not with Kobe out there. Not with Kobe out there. I just don't see it because without Kobe on the floor. Because hear me out. What made Jimmy Butler, and what has made Jimmy Butler is him being borderline maniacal as during the playoff runs and being an insane person.
Yeah.
There's no competition typically for that role. But there very much is when you're playing against a guy named Kobe Bryant. Yeah, there's massive competition for who the most maniacal fuck is on the court at all times. So I think
especially if like you can't be on you definitely can't be on that bullshit like with Kobe because he's definitely
that's what I'm saying. If you try to do that to Kobe, you're just gonna make him better.
Yeah,
you're just gonna make him better. Like you may draw one of those 8 for 30 games out of Kobe, maybe.
Yeah,
but you might also draw him to just be like, we're gonna beat the fuck out of you. we're going to sweep you. We're gonna leave you no hope. We're gonna choke you out until you die. Like.
And not to mention, Shaq is going to average 50 in this series.
Yeah, poor Bam Adebayo, who had an awesome... This might still be my favorite Bam Adebayo, is this playoff run, where he gets that block on Tatum.
This is his peak, I think, right now in his career.
Yeah, I think as it stands currently.
Yeah.
Because he played pretty consistently in the regular season. But from a playoff standpoint, we got this year that we're in right now and the 2020 bubble, but I do think he played a little better in the bubble.
Wow, it's actually comparable.
18 and 10. It's pretty comparable.
It doesn't feel like it though.
It doesn't because he was shooting a way higher percentage. He was getting way more rebounds and he was passing better. That was the cool part about Bam, especially during the Celtics series in the bubble, is his passing. He just became... And we saw one game like this during the 2023 playoffs, but look at this. Multiple games, over 5 assists, almost triple doubles a few times. Here, there's basically 6 assists a game. Just pretty damn
Yeah.
pretty damn good.
But like I said, like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago, freaking Shaq. So Bam looks small compared to LeBron. I remember like seeing this, and I was like, damn, like, and I remember looking up their heights. And I'm like, oh, LeBron's actually like just his same height and heavier. Like,
yeah,
and imagine having to guard Shaq. Like, Shaq is almost 100 pounds bigger than LeBron,
right.
right? And then like it's just not even like it's not fair. Like it's just
It's super.
he's gonna yeah, it's like
Incredibly
literally
unfair.
Shaq is a freaking grizzly bear. And it's just like, how are you gonna handle that? And then Jimmy even trying to keep up with that. Then you got Kobe on the other. Like, yeah, it's just gonna be overwhelming. But I do give Jimmy a game though. So
I would give the white shooters a game before Jimmy, but I don't know. It's the same problem I was having with the Nuggets. Like, maybe Jimmy Butler and Kobe cancel each other out. Maybe I still have Kobe a little bit more on the scoring end over Jimmy.
Like, that was like Jimmy's greatest series, besides the ones that we've seen this postseason, and like he only averaged 26 points.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, like that's crazy to me. Like, yeah, because I remember like he dropped the 40-point triple double, and he like he literally was like he was carrying that team. But they were also he also had guys injured in that series and stuff. But yeah, I think 5 games. The only team that was a challenge for the Lakers and probably could have beat them is that the other Laker team, the actual champions.
Yeah, I like I said, I have them in a sweep. Lindsay, what you got?
5 games.
5 games?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we might be, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. In some situations, I overvalue the 3-point shot, and I think in this case, I might be undervaluing it. Maybe I should give him 5 games just because of the 3. Like, the 3 is such a difference maker. They're making double the 3s on average. On average, double.
The only issue is, like, how much is that really going to offset? So, like, 3s are dope when you're going 50% from, like I said, like 50% from the 2-point line is equal to 1 3, like out of 3 shots. Like that's how it works out. But when you have a guy that's literally gonna average 80% from the like Shaq, there's nobody that's gonna stop Shaq. I literally really do think he's averaging anywhere between 70 to 80% field goal range. Like,
that's an NBA record. That would be impossible. He's gonna average probably 60%. That's probably
all right, 68.9. All right, how about that? And he's gonna fucking fuck them, and then you're just like, it's just not gonna be like no one's gonna stop him. Like throughout this whole playoffs. Like the biggest challenge
you don't think Eric Spoelstra can try and scheme something? Maybe like
you don't have to
hack a Shaq.
Look, no, we're about to see Eric Spoelstra get fucked in the finals right this year, and it's gonna be a soft version, like not even a Shaq. It's gonna be a different version, but it's gonna be a soft center.
On that note, we have had fun doing hypotheticals. We will see you for the next Legacy Breakdown. If you did not vote, be sure to vote. I'll leave a link for the vote in the description.
Man, your vote don't mean shit at this point. We already know who we doing. Don't even make them feel like they can change it.
If there's a massive sway of votes, I'll do research on somebody else. But
man, you putting this on like 3 weeks. We already gonna have our episodes.
If you did vote,
like Russell, man,
listen,
he capping. Like we already gonna be videotaping like 2 or 3 seasons up at that point, man. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm about to beep out the name you just said because I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it fun for people who didn't vote and don't know who we're doing. We will see you for the return of the Legacy Breakdown series. I'm Russell Broderick. That's Daryl Albuquerque? Yes!
Russell's
I haven't done this in so long. Good, fuck you.
Bullshit.
Let's
literally
go.
Looking at the thing.
That's Daryl Albuquerque. And off camera is the Fairy Pop and Lindsay Lehman. As always, we are saying Hey guys, if you like what you heard, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Just type in Apex Greatness on YouTube to see everything we put out this year. From legacy breakdowns to current NBA and NFL content. We have over 150 videos to binge if you're that type of person, or just to listen to in your spare time. We have about 2 to 5 hours of new content every week. Check us out. Later.